Okay, round two. Hey, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray, and you are on the Winn team. If you're on the Zoom, at least most everybody is. We do have some people who tie in who are not on the team, but we welcome them as well. But if this is your first time here, welcome. We are excited that you're here to join us. And my name is Harlequin Murray. I am a team leader on Ellen's team. I'm personally sponsored by her, and I get to be the co-host. And I also get to go and introduce Ellen for those of you who don't know her. Ellen grew up here in the Atlanta, Georgia area on a farm. They have a big, huge family farm that she grew up on. She actually just moved back onto the property a little while ago, and she's now in her house. So she's super excited about that. But anyways, Ellen's background, she worked in the restaurant industry for many years and had worked her way up. She was a training director and a area manager with Domino's Pizza. And she ended up several years ago, she decided to break out on her own and start her own pizza restaurant. And she had a couple of pizza restaurants, but she has not worked for anybody else ever since that time period, and has a strong track record with that. Whenever I met her, she had actually started working in network marketing, and she was the national training director for a network marketing company and had been my upline in that organization. That's how we initially met. But she has trained tens of thousands of agents nationwide to help have a better, more successful business. And she loves to do training. So we are very honored and in great company with her, but she is an area director in the DAC comp plan and a one-star executive in the longevity comp plan. So she knows what she's talking about. She has the team and the structure and the business volume behind her. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen Winn, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, Harlequin, thank you for that. I always appreciate your warm introductions and getting this call kicked off. I need one more second, guys. Hang on one second. I'm sending a text to someone about one of my limousine clients.
Yeah, and she has a couple of businesses that she runs, so.
Yeah. Hey, you want to cover, while we're waiting on me, you want to cover tomorrow night's Zooms that'll be coming up and the importance of being on those for the first Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. First Tuesday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern time, David does a live business opportunity presentation for anybody who you have who may be interested in becoming an agent, or even for new agents who may not have watched that full BizOp presentation. That's a great opportunity to see it live. You can ask David questions and get your questions answered. And then that's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, David is going to be doing a training. And it looks like this time he's going to cover a little bit of information about all of our different services. So not just funding, but payment processing, customer financing. And we're hoping we get some new details on our new Relevate Bank program that we're going to be launching this month. Super, super excited about that. But that is, both of those can be accessed through daczoom.com. So daczoom.com. And yeah, so that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that.
Great. I'm all set. And I just sent James your information, Harlequin. So if you get interrupted on that, he's coming to get that car seat.
Oh, okay.
Harlequin bailed me out today. I've got a client coming in at the airport at 9:30 tonight, and they're traveling with their child. So they need a car seat, and none of our limousine vehicles generally carry a car seat in the vehicle with them just because they take up so much space. So having to switch around and get a car seat to a driver. So I'm going to get us kicked off and get us in screen share mode like I do everyone. If this is the first time you've joined us on our team Zoom, welcome. If it's the first time coming here, you're probably pretty new, and we're really excited to have you. Lots of good things are happening with our company and within our team, and it's just a great time to be a part of David Allen Capital. So let me get into screen share, and I'll kick us off like I always do with team recognition, which we go through the recruiting numbers and those who are hitting the leaderboard every week. We've got some good success stories on funding as well. And let me find the right screen. There we go. Share screen. There it is. Awesome. Okay. Recruiting numbers, and this is for the week of, get my slides to move, 7/21 through 7/27. These numbers just keep getting better and better as our team continues to grow. So in first place for that week, we had Alyssa Barnes and also Farron Thomas tied for first place with 16 recruits each. Congratulations, Alyssa and Farron. We had in second place Latoria Porter with 14 recruits, and that's a really close second there. So congratulations, Latoria. In third place, Lillian Blackshear, again, second. Third place is a close third behind Latoria. So those of you that are in double-digit recruiting, congratulations to all of you. In fourth place, we had Kayla Joshua with 7 new recruits. In fifth place, we had a three-way tie with Sequetta Brand, Lavonda Goodman, and Zalika Vora, each with 5 recruits. In sixth place, we had a multi-way tie with 4 recruits each. We had Sharita Aldridge, Gabrielle Henry, Jeffrey Jackson, Destiny Jordan, Shunisi Leftridge, Tanasia McGlotton, Erica Proctor, Ho Tran, Jonice Williams, and Charlene Wilson. Congratulations to all of you tying with 4 recruits each. And with 3 recruits each, we had several. And a seventh place tie, we had Jonathan Alvarez, Nikki Bozeman, Tammy Klein, Kimberly Cruz, Terrence Gibson, Shanita Hurd, Eric Johnson, Jamila Love, Raven Mark, Xanthia Moore, Shanta Morris, Cantrella Singleton, Sherry Stovall, Katina Willis, and Silena Willis, all tied with 3 recruits each. Congratulations. And the last of the leaderboard with 2 recruits, we had several tied for 8th place with Bob Amato, Walter Anderson, Annette Blanchard, Aaron Bullock, Tracy Charlton, Eugene Clapp, Cerise Cohey, Daniela Krivakour, Maruda Criswell, Rolf Crudup, Kiona Danner, Devonna Fuller, Shanna Johnson Cox, Jebecca Jones, Anthony Logan, Tamika Malone, Merrick Moore, Erica Sanford, and Cassandra Wallace. So congratulations to all of you with 2 recruits each. We had many, many more who had 1 recruit. All in all, we had a total of 156 people in the team who recruited at least 1 new agent. So congratulations to you that did recruit, and I didn't announce your name on the leaderboard. And also congratulations to you if you're at least having conversations and you've crossed that start line and are having conversations with people about DAC opportunity, DAC funding, or any of our other services, because you got to cross that start line to be able to get out the gate and moving. We had 307 new agents join the team for the week. So great job to all of you that are out there building an organization. July, we just wrapped up a record-breaking month, and I want to go through a little bit here. I was looking at numbers today, and this was just crazy. You know, we talk about recruiting and how that is the lifeblood of the business. Okay. We could not have accomplished what we did in July if it weren't for those that are recruiting, because the recruiting numbers are what helps us reach the masses when we're talking to business owners. If it were just a few of us out here, we wouldn't be able to help a lot of business owners. But all in all, our team, just our team alone, helped business owners receive over $1 million in funding in the month of July, which means tens of thousands of dollars got paid out in commissions to this team. So congratulations to every one of you that brought on an agent, that brought on a client, or had clients filling out applications, whether they got funded or not. That means that you're doing the right things. You're moving forward with your business. You're getting DAC in front of people, and that is the only way that your business grows. So I'm really super proud of everybody and all the efforts that you put in over the month. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can produce in July, but over $1 million in funding was just an incredible amount. And that was a lot of fundings, several, I don't want to say several hundred. I'm not sure if it was quite 200, but it was a lot of fundings. When we add Giggle in the mix, which are those smaller amounts, a lot of people got help because of this team's effort. So again, congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, the biggest congratulations goes out right now to my co-host, Harlequin Murray. She was just announced today as Agent of the Month for August. And she will be interviewed on the 12th, which is not this Friday, but the following Friday. So look forward to that. This is Harlequin's third time being named as Agent of the Month. So she's a Triple Crown winner. I love it. And definitely so deserving of that. Many of you are probably on Harlequin's team, and you know how what a great leader she is and how responsive and supportive she is for the team. So couldn't have gone to a better person than Harlequin. So proud of you, my friend. I appreciate all that you do for the team. I want to make sure I didn't miss a slide. Okay, let's go back forward. And I'm going to have you speak on that. Actually, let's do that right now. Harlequin, just a quick acceptance to the team on your being named Agent of the Month. I know today you were bragging about the team, and thought you might have something else you want to say to them.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you. And I could not have done it without the team. So I want to say a huge thank you and shout out to all of my team members. I don't want to name anybody specifically, because then I know I'm going to miss somebody and I don't want to upset anybody. But you know, it's been insane what has happened the last few months. And I was going and I looked at my numbers last night, and my average volume for last year, for the month of July, we almost hit 10 times the average of last year. So that's how much the team has grown in the last few months. And back in, well, prior to that, March had been the biggest month that we had up until that point. We've actually done almost 4 times that amount. So it just in the last 4 or 5 months, the team has just exploded. But yeah, and a lot of that goes to, I took the time to go and do some extra training and do some personal development. For those of you who have an opportunity to do that, I would highly recommend it. I do know that there is actually a free training that starts tomorrow with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. It starts at 2:00 Eastern tomorrow. It's Thrive.
You want to look that up and post that in the chat, Harlequin?
I can do that right now. James is trying to get in the door, so I'm going to have to
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the slideshow and let you do that, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
just came in the gate, so it'll take a minute for him to pull up here.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to screen share. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and Harlequin, you had some folks that you said would be or might possibly do testimonials.
Yes, I do. I've got a few of them actually. Let me just double check here. The first one is, let's see, we're going to start off with Ryan Jackson. Are you able to unmute and put yourself on camera?
Hi, I'm here.
Hey,
How are you?
doing fabulous, and congratulations on your funding. And
Thank you.
I do want to point something out, if I remember correctly. You actually were able to get your first funding within 30 days, correct?
The first week.
Awesome. That's right. You got yours in the first week.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
awesome. Well, if you can tell us a little bit about it, I'm going to put myself on mute and stop my video for a second. And
Okay.
because I've got to go answer the door.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, well,
Congratulations,
everybody.
Ryan. Yeah,
Thank
tell
you
us
so
about your
much.
funding.
Well, so I started out, I was invited by someone who I had, someone like-minded in business like me. I do a lot of networking, so I do know a lot of entrepreneurs, people in business, people who need funding. So he reached out to me. I joined as an agent. I started promoting it on my social media handles, Facebook and Instagram. I actually had quite a few people who applied. So honestly, I was a little taken aback that it was only one, but it's okay because we're gonna keep working. But I did have one person who went through and completed all their documents. He's in business doing real estate. So how I get most of my clients, I'm in the financial business. I run a credit repair business, and he does real estate. So just through networking is how I kind of was promoting, looking for my ideal candidate. So yeah, that's pretty much how I was able to secure my first, loan recipient.
Yeah, that's awesome. How much did he borrow?
He borrows $40,000
So you got a check with a comma or a commission with a comma in it.
with a comma. Yes.
I like it. Welcome to the comma club. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you for sharing your testimonial. I don't know if Harlequin is back yet. She is not. She's chatting away at the door.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, congratulations. If there's somebody else on here that Harlequin had talked to and asked for a testimonial, if you want to unmute yourself while we're waiting on her.
Yeah, Ellen,
There you are.
it is Yvonne Fragoso.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I am Yvonne Fragoso. I am from Houston, Texas. And I also own my business of financial business and accounting tax firm, and also do credit repair. So my clients come from my business funding now with DAC comes from those clients that I am helping them build their business and growing to the next level. And the niche of my client was construction. And this client was denied 3 years ago by PPP. But when I told him about our opportunity or our, funding, he got, excited, and we were able to help him. And like you mentioned earlier, I got a commission with a comma.
All right.
So now I look forward to those commas more often.
That's awesome. Now, this was your first funding, right?
Yes, in 30 days. Yes.
Nice. Great job. Love that. So both of you and Ryan both got your first funding within 30 days. So that means that your enroller got a 100% match on what you did, as long as your enroller was engaged and eligible to earn that. So I'm sorry, 50% if they were engaged and 100% if they were amped up. So their enroller match went up because it was in your first 30 days. So that's how our fast start commission works. And I hope your enrollers were excited for you as I am, seeing that you got that in 30 days. And how much was that funding for?
45. He actually qualified. The client actually qualified. What I loved about the offer is that he got 4 offers, and he qualified up to 55,000, but he got 45,000. Yeah.
Nice. So he got 4 offers through the Bank Breezy process, where we bring a client's package in-house, and then they put that out for bids from all of the top lenders in the alternative capital space, and bring all of that back to the client, giving them options. If there's more than one offer, they let them see those. Sometimes it's only one offer that comes back, depending on what the financials look like. So did they qualify for a line of credit as well?
No, but what we did notice is that if he's able to pay the funding in 4 months, he's eligible for a 20% discount, which we both liked, and I was like, wow, that's amazing, because compared to other banks, because again, I do also credit repair, and I do work with realtors as well. So compared to banks, this is a best offer, because banks are now, they do not help clients with funding unless they have a 700 credit score. And what I love about us is that we help clients with a 550 credit score or up. So, it's just a lot of benefits, a lot of help for the clients out there. And, I am here to impact the community even furthermore. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, great job. Thank you. Great testimonial there. Harlequin, was there anybody else?
No, we had somebody else, but they weren't able to make it tonight.
Got it. And I was going to see Carlene Penn. Let me see if Carlene has made it on here. She's been out of country for a couple of weeks, and I don't see her. She said she would be on tonight, hoping to be on at the very start. Carlene had a funding a week and a half ago, and was going to give her an opportunity. Somebody that she and I had been working together with. She had called me with some questions, and I believe I actually did a 3-way call with she and her client. So if she pops on there, Harlequin, let me know, and I'll ask her if she wants to share any information on that funding. So let's get back into screen share mode here, and we'll move along. See, putting that slide up keeps me on track for those. All right, and we already covered that, but for those of you that missed the beginning when Harlequin was talking about our first Tuesday, which is tomorrow evening at 8 p.m., our company founder, David Rutz, is going to lead a business opportunity presentation. And then at 9 p.m., both of these are Eastern time. At 9 p.m., we will do a product training. It'll be a variety. It'll be some funding. It'll be some customer finance and payment processing, and hopefully some updates on Relevate. Also, David dropped a hint today. He said that there are a couple new product announcements outside of Relevate that he's going to go live with tomorrow and cover it tomorrow night. So you all want to make plans to be there. Get that word out to your team. Anytime you're hearing good information, if you have a team, you need to help disseminate that information to the team and make sure that everybody is aware. I think we can, I'd rather us over communicate than under communicate, right? So what I want to do tonight with our training is I want to point everybody back to the funding tools that we have, and I'm going to show you how to use those and how to have some conversations with clients. Okay, so first off, let's get the tool, and that is going to be in the Agent Resource Center. If you're brand new or if you've been here a while and you're not quite sure where the Agent Resource Center is, if you just go to your davidallencapital.com website and scroll all the way to the footer of the page, you're going to see a link that you're going to see resources, and under that is a link to the Agent Resource Center. When you get to the page, it looks just like this. The big green 1, 2, 3 at the top of the page. If you have not been through all of these videos in the past couple of weeks since they've been updated, you need to go and watch all 3 of them. Video 1, video 2, the new product training has been updated, and video 3, the first of the 3 series under the compensation. There are 3 different videos there. The first one has been updated with updates on commission structures, on how you get paid on personal clients. But tonight I want to talk about the funding tools. So business funding and line of credit is the section right underneath the business services workbook. And guys, if you've not been through this workbook, printed it out, it is several pages. It's 70 or 80 pages long, okay? And it's got scripts in it, text messages. It's got some great training material in it, but you want to print that workbook and then watch the video to the right of it and go through the training along with the workbook. That's a training that we did last year, but the information in it is very much pertinent. There might be some stuff that's a little outdated as far as the Bank Breezy conversation goes. But everything else in there is about building your business. Some great training from different team leaders that are really doing phenomenal out there. All of the guest speakers besides David Rutz have been agents of the month. So you want to tune into that if you haven't seen it. But this first, number 1, under the business fundings and line of credit, there's a PDF document there. And when you click on that PDF document, it's going to take you to this document in the Agent Resource Center. All right, and it takes you through the funding process, has a breakdown of every single funding that we have, our connection with Bank Breezy, the in-house funding for sales over 15,000. It has the funding requirements for our mid-level bucket of funding. As David says, we have 3 different buckets. We have the bigger funding with Bank Breezy, the middle funding with Biddy Advance, and then we have our smaller funding bucket with Giggle. And as you can see, they're co-branded there on the training sheets, along with a page about our line of credit. So this 5-page document is really your go-to resource when it comes to knowing what you're talking about with business owners. That's what I want to cover, is the conversation tonight, right? And you just having a good understanding of the 3 different funding products that we have, and those 3 different buckets, the requirements. And then you'll see, I'm going to turn this into conversation mode, because I get a lot of inbound calls from business owners that either see me on social media or find me on my Craigslist ads, or they just find me on Google in general, because I have Google presence, free presence. I'm not doing paid ads there, but I created a Google page, and I get a lot of inbound calls on that. So I have day-to-day conversations with business owners that are looking for what I have to offer. They're doing search marketing and they're finding me. And I'm going to take you through that process that I do when I have a conversation with a business owner, because I want to pre-qualify them before I even send them over to the website. I don't want to waste their time going through something that they're not going to qualify for. And I don't want to waste our team's time or our resources. If they go to Giggle or Biddy Advance, those online only, if a client goes through there and goes on into the bank linking, it costs money every time those transactions take place. I don't want to send a client over if they're not truly qualified. And I want to disappoint them, and I don't want to give them hopes of something working out that's not going to work out. So the main thing you want to focus on that worksheet is this particular diagram. And when you get notification, as Ryan said earlier, she had a lot of notifications coming in that people had applied and only one of them got approved. I wanted to make a comment on that, because one, it's great that you have a lot of them coming in. I have a lot of them coming in on a regular basis too. But what I see is a lot of the people that are applying, if you look, and last week we covered this, we covered how to interpret the email. So if you missed last week's replay, go to my YouTube channel and watch last week. We also did a deep dive on residual commissions last week. But that email that you received, notification email saying someone has started a Bank Breezy application, there's a little paragraph that says details. And those details tell you how much they're doing per month, what the client stated, their stated revenue, whether they're doing business through a business or personal checking account, and what their FICO is, if they listed that, okay? And those answers are going to show you exactly which one of these lending partners they went to. They don't tell you in the email. You have to understand your product and have to be able to read that little paragraph on the details and go, okay, so if they're doing $8,000 a month and they have a personal checking account, there's only one lender they would have been sent to. That would be Giggle, right? Because it says personal bank account, even though their volume, if they're doing 8,000, they fit into this range of Biddy Advance as far as the revenue goes, but that personal bank account pops them out of eligibility for Biddy and only puts them in eligibility with Giggle, right? Another example here, if they're doing $10,000 a month and have a business bank account, but they have a FICO under 550, then they're back over here at Giggle because this points out the FICO score, right? If it's below 550, if it's 500, they're going to go over here, even though otherwise with their revenue and the business bank account, yes, those two items check with Biddy Advance. But if any one of these items under Biddy would kick them out, then they go back to the next lender that they would qualify for, okay? So you just want to know the product and understand the requirements for each one. But once you know those, then you just want to get good at asking questions. So here are the pre-qualifying questions. Anytime somebody calls me, I'll give you my routine here. My phone rings. I have a business line. So when that phone rings, that phone number rings, I know that it is a DAC call coming in, and I answer the phone accordingly. So my phone rings and I pick up saying, "Thank you for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?" Okay. That's how I answer the phone. I don't say, "Thank you for choosing David Allen Capital," because I'm not David Allen Capital and I'm not representing myself as David Allen Capital, but we can use the acronym DAC. So I say, "Thank you for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?" That's just my intro. I answer that way. That way they feel like they're calling a business, which I am a business, right? But I want it to be legitimate for the client when they call me off of whatever they've seen about my business. And I think having a business line is great. If you don't have a business line, I would encourage you, if you're using maybe your cell phone, I would encourage you to always answer the phone with your name and act as if you're a business if you're getting a call from someone that's not already listed in your phone book, because it's possibly somebody calling you about your funding, right? So before I had my business line, I would answer the phone. "Good afternoon, this is Ellen. How can I help you?" Or "Good morning, this is Ellen. How can I help you?" So that way, even when they're dialing my cell, and I answer my cell phone that way because my limousine business goes through that number. I answered that way so that it felt like they were making a business call rather than me just answering with "hello." Okay, so hopefully that'll help you if you're getting those calls coming in. But when I get that call, I always ask the questions about their business. Every business owner out there loves talking about themselves and about their business. So, you know, they call and they say, "Hey, I wanted to check on how your funding process works," or "I wanted to talk to you about what the requirements are." That's usually what they're asking for. Some will just say, "Hey, I'm looking to get a business loan." And then I always lead the conversation, whatever they ask me. If they ask me how the process works, I don't go through listing, "Here's how the process works." I ask them some pre-qualifying questions to make sure they even qualify before I try to explain how the process works. And in my explanation of the process, I'm only going to tell them the process of the funding platform that they're going to qualify for. based on my pre-qualifying questions. Okay. Now, these questions are the same questions that they're going to fill out when they go to the online application. And when they start that online application for you to get the notice that says Bank Breezy application started, these are the same questions that they will have answered by then. But if you want to ask those questions up front so that the client has the proper expectation. So let's say that Joe calls me and he's just asked me, how does your funding process work for a small business owner? And I'll go, well, great to hear from you, Joe. Thanks for calling. Listen, well, let me ask you a few questions about your business first. And I'll say, can you tell me how long you've been in business? We got to have 4 months in business because we need the last 3 months of revenue, right? So I ask them, how long have you been in business? And then they'll tell me, and either they're qualified with length of time in business or they're disqualified, okay, with that first question. Now, if they pass that one, I'm going to say, well, how much revenue are you doing a month? If we looked at your last 3 months bank statements, what would be the lowest single month out of the past 3 months? And then they're thinking and they're going, well, I don't know, I'm averaging this. And I'm going, okay, averaging, would that be the lowest that you did out of the past 3 months, or what was it higher? I'm trying to nail it down, because that lowest amount out of the past 3 months is the benchmark that we're going to use as the base amount for their funding offer. So if they go to Giggle, they'll qualify for one. Biddy Advance, they'll qualify for a higher percentage, and Bank Breezy even higher. So we really need to know what that lowest number is, because again, I'm wanting to ask questions to set the proper expectation. Right now, once I have that number, let's say that he tells me he's doing $8,000 a month. Okay, I'm going to say, okay, great. Well, are you depositing that money, all your sales revenue, into a business or a personal checking account? And I'll wait for the answer. And if he says personal, I automatically know they're going to Giggle. But in this case, he's doing $8,000 a month, his lowest month out of the past 3. And let's say he's got a business checking account. I'm always taking notes. I have a little blue notepad here, yellow notepad, but I have these little bitty notepads, and I turn the pages and have one as I'm taking notes on the phone. Okay, so that I'm asking those questions, making a note to myself. So at the end of the conversation, I can give him a real quick snapshot of what's going to happen. All right, so 8,000 business checking account. He's been in business for Biddy. You have to be in business 6 months as a minimum. Okay, so if we'll say he's been in business for a year, and then I'll ask him, okay, Joe, how much is it that you're wanting to borrow? Because I need to know that, because if he's needing $25,000 and he's only doing $8,000 in revenue, he's not going to get it. And I need to set that expectation. So let's say that he tells me he needs $10,000. He's doing $8,000 a month in revenue. And so far he's qualified for Biddy Advance. Okay. So I'll say, okay, you're wanting 10,000. All right, let me ask you another question. Do you know what your FICO score is? And when he gives me his FICO, if it's above 550, then he's a shoe-in for Biddy Advance, getting forwarded there. If he says, yeah, I'm around 500, then he goes over to Giggle, right? So those 2 questions right there, how much he's wanting to borrow and what that approximate FICO score is, are key. I'm going to have to excuse myself 1 second here. Hey, Kevin. Okay, excellent, excellent. Now you need the client's information, right? Okay, I'll send it. Yeah, I'll send it over to you in just a minute, okay? All right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so those last 2 questions are important so that you're setting the right expectation for the client, okay? How much you're looking to borrow. He's wanting 10,000. He's got a credit score over 550. So now he's given me that. I know he's a shoe-in for Biddy Advance. And how much does Biddy Advance loan on the base revenue? Well, they're only going to offer 75%. So if he's doing $8,000 a month, I'm going to tell him that they're typically going to do about 75%, which 8,000 times 75% is $6,000, right? So based on me knowing which lender he's going to go to, I'm going to say, yeah, the lender that you're going to qualify for, Joe, they typically offer about 75% of your lowest monthly revenue over the past 3 months. So you're telling me that you're doing 8,000. They're probably going to offer you around 6,000. And you're also telling me you need 10. Is 6,000 going to be enough to help you get in the direction that you need to go, or do you need the full 10? And that's my conversation with the client, because if they're going, nope, I need the full 10, then there's no need for them to even go through and apply, because it's not going to give them enough money for what they're trying to accomplish. But if he says, yeah, 6,000 would be better than nothing, then I'm going to send him on over to the application. So I'm going to send him my application page. I'm only sending him the business capital page of David Allen Capital. Remember, my favorite page on the website is the business capital link, not the giggle link, not the gig self-employed funding page. I never use that page. Okay. And if you've not watched my DAC website training video, you need to go watch that and you'll understand why I never use that page. Okay. But I'm going to tell him I'm going to send you my link, and is email or text messaging better? And when he gives me whichever route he wants, then I'm going to send him the link that goes directly over to that page. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm sending it to you right now. You're just going to click on the apply now button. It's going to ask you some of the same questions I just asked you about your business. Make sure you go through and read the questions so you're answering it correctly to get sent over to the correct lender. Now, when you get over, after you go through that, it's going to redirect you to our lending partner, and then you're going to complete the application with them. Everything's online. You're gonna be linking your bank account. They use Decision Logic, so you need to know that about BD Advance. They use Decision Logic as the company that does the bank linking. All right, you're gonna answer a few questions about your business. You're gonna take a picture of your driver's license, a picture of a voided check, and then you're gonna link your bank account by your username and login that you do to your online banking. That way I have the opportunity to explain to the client if, and I really don't even leave it up for questions at that, because when I explain the bank linking process, I'll say, are you familiar with Venmo or Cash App, or do you use bill pay with your bank account? And then I get them on that conversation, and people say, yeah, I'm familiar with that. And I say, well, this links to your bank account exactly the same way that Venmo or Cash App or your bill pay does. You're just going in through a secure platform, entering your username and password so that they can get a one-way view of what's actually going on in your account. Once they do that bank linking, then you'll be able to move on through the process. If they make you an offer and you accept that, then you'll be able to e-sign the documents and move it on through. So I just give them a high-level overview of what to expect in that, so that they don't get to the bank linking and go, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. But if I'm this nice person on the phone and I've already kind of given them a heads up on it, they're going to go on through the process, right? So that's why you need to understand your pre-qualifying questions. So I'm going to take this off of screen share mode, and I'm going to ask if we've got anybody that wants to do a role play with me to be the client, and I'm going to answer the phone. You be the business owner and tell me what you're looking for, and I'll do a live role play with what I just went through on that training. Anybody want to be a business owner? And
I'm going to let somebody else do it. But one thing that I would suggest that you add, if somebody is doing over 15,000 and they're interested in the line of credit, make sure that you review that there are higher qualifications for that. And if they're not eligible for those higher qualifications, they need to go and they need to not apply for a line of credit until they meet those qualifications. Otherwise, it may delay their funding.
Good point. Okay. Yeah, and they're still pulling, if they meet the criteria, they're still applying for a line of credit, even if the client doesn't ask them to do so. Correct?
Wait, say that again?
Even if they just apply for working capital, if they meet the criteria for line of credit, Wade is going ahead and trying to get them approved for a line of credit in addition to the working capital, even if
Not,
they don't fill it out.
not right now. Because
When did he
line of
stop
credit-
doing that?
well, line of credit right now, it's taking longer to get
Mhm.
approved on
Mhm.
that. So unless the client is requesting it, they're not sending it on. And over half of the businesses that are applying for the line of credit are not qualifying, and it's jamming up the process.
Oh my, yeah. I
So
know
that's
when
why
we-
you want, they need to be in business for at least 1 to 2 years and have, a 600 to a 700 credit score before they can qualify for that.
Got it. Yep. And I knew you were talking about that the other day, about the line of credit taking a little bit longer. So sorry, I'm sending my driver text on the client that he's picking up for me.
Okay. And we actually have a couple of people that are volunteering.
I see that. I saw.
Ellen, I'll do it.
Rebecca.
This is Brad. I'll do it.
Okay, awesome. Yep. I saw Rebecca pop up there first. But Brad, you're pretty new and we just talked. let's do this with you, okay?
That's fine.
Because you're getting re-engaged here and this will be a good training for you. So you can be any type of business owner you want. Just think up in your mind what it is you're looking for and ring, ring. Thanks for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?
Hey, Ellen, how you doing? This is Brad Billingsley. I run a seafood restaurant over here in Jacksonville and looking for a little bit of capital.
Awesome. Awesome. Restaurant, man. I was in the restaurant industry for 25 plus years. So I really appreciate what you go through on a daily basis. So good deal. Well, let me ask you a few questions about your business, Brad. How much revenue are you doing a month right now?
We're doing somewhere around 10 to 15,000 a month.
10 to 15. And I assume that you're depositing all of that into a business checking account?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And how much is it that you're looking for right now, Brad?
Well, I was hoping to get somewhere around 10 to 20, somewhere between there. I'm really hurting with all this going on right now.
Okay, gotcha. So you're doing 10 to 15. Let's take a look. If you looked at your last 3 months bank statement, we just closed out July. So that would be May, June, and July. Those 3 months. If you look at May, June, and July, out of those 3 months, what was your lowest monthly revenue?
12,000.
Single month. 12,000. Okay, perfect. All right, just trying to narrow down. We're one of the largest lending platforms in North America, and we deal with all of the top lenders out there. And depending on your revenue, we have specific platforms that you would qualify for. So I'm trying to narrow that down. One last question. Do you know what your FICO score is, Brad?
Oh, it's bad. I'm a business owner. They've destroyed it.
Yeah, what's bad to you?
It's probably somewhere around 420.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they have destroyed you. I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if your FICO is below 550, we have one lender that would possibly work with you, but 12,000, they typically offer about 20 to 25%. So those of you, now I'm not saying this to Brad, but for your notes, remember Giggle only offers 20 to 25% of that lowest monthly revenue, right? So make that note on this call. All right, so Brad, I have one lender that that would probably work with you with your credit score as is, but they're only going to offer you about 20 to 25% of that lowest monthly revenue. So if 12 was the lowest monthly revenue, you're probably going to get an offer somewhere in the 2,500 range, give or take a little bit. And I'm just going on what their averages are. So 2,500 is probably about what they're going to offer. Would that be something that would at least help you?
Well, no, that wouldn't help me with what I need, but I do appreciate your time.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, listen, I appreciate the call, and it was good talking with you. If I can help you in the future when your revenues are up, or if your credit score gets up a little bit higher, then I can help you get working capital. But I'm sorry I can't get you what you're looking for today. But again,
Well, thanks for
keep that
trying.
number. If I can help you in the future, let me know. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the call. All right. That's it. Thank you, Brad. Great job. That's what I do when somebody calls me. I'm honest. I'm not trying to string them along, and I'm not trying to tell them that we might be able to get money for them if I know we can't. I'm just honest, and I want them to move on and remember me as being a credible person that's really concerned about helping a business owner, right? So
Yep.
let's go to Jebecca now. Jebecca had said, yeah, I can help you. What you doing today, Jebecca? Got another funding? Man, you are just killing it.
What's going on? What's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you. So you're going to be my business owner. All right.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Thanks for choosing DAC. This is Ellen. How can I help you?
Ellen, hi. My name is John. I'm actually saw your ad and was interested more about funding.
Okay. Yeah, great. Hey, John, how are you doing today?
Ah, man, I'll be better depending on the end of this call. Right? Let's see if you can help me.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, what kind of business do you have?
Our flooring company.
Flooring. Awesome. Well, we love helping business owners in the construction arena. So hopefully I can help you get what you're looking for today. Are you operating through a business or personal checking account?
Our business account.
Business account. Awesome. And what's your average monthly revenue right now?
Right now, probably between about 50,000.
50. Okay. If we looked at the last 3 months, May, June, and July, out of those 3 months, what's the lowest revenue out of those three?
The last three, so July, June, and May would be the last three. I would say probably the lowest would be about 40,000.
40. Okay. So I asked that because we really take that lowest month as your base for what the funding offer would be. And how much is it that you're looking for, John?
I mean, 75,000, between 75 and 100.
Okay. All right. So 45 as the base. Isn't that what you told me? I didn't write it down like I do normally when I'm talking. Okay. So 45 as your base. You're doing a business checking account. Do you know what your FICO is?
690, between 690 and 700.
Oh, good for you. You are taking care of business. That's good. A lot of business owners have really challenged credit because we end up having to beg and borrow and rob accounts, right? Rob from
Yeah.
Peter to pay
It
Paul.
happened to me too. I just was happy to work with some good people to help me get it back up, but it happened to me too. So
awesome. Awesome. Okay. So based on your revenue, the lender that I believe you will qualify for, well, first, let me tell you a little bit about our company. We're one of the largest lending platforms in North America, and we have created relationships with all of the top lenders. So when your package comes through us, our in-house team is going to come through it, make sure that everything is in order, and then they're going to put it out in front of all of these top lenders and give them an opportunity to bid on your file. Those other lenders are not going to get your information. They're not going to be calling you. Our internal team is the only one that's going to be communicating with you. But because of the way our system works, you're going to have an opportunity to get quotes from all of the top lenders out there with just this one stop. It's a free application. There's no obligation when we bring the offer back to you. And typically, you're going to see an offer anywhere from 75% up to 200% of your monthly revenue. So at 45,000, you could get an offer up to 90,000. That's very rare that we see that. Typically, you're going to be in that 75 to 100% range, but it really depends on what your financials look like. They're going to need you to fill out an online application, which I'll send that link over to you if you feel like this is going to be a good solution. You'll fill out an online application, and in process, you want to have your last 3 months bank statements, the May, June, and July, have those downloaded directly from your bank website in PDF format, have those downloaded and saved on your computer. You need a copy of your driver's license and a copy of the voided business check, and you're going to upload those in process of filling out that application. So it's really simple to do once our team has everything in-house. And you sent those documents in with a signed application, which is an e-signature actually. Once that's in-house, they'll shop it out. They can sometimes get an offer as quickly as an hour, but usually it takes one day, sometimes two, depending on how many different lenders are looking at your file. Is that going to be a quick enough turnaround for you?
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty fast. I mean, I do have some questions just to make sure that this is the right move for me. Is that okay?
Sure.
So is this like in a merchant credit account or one of those type deals, or is this? Because I've heard a lot of things about that. I just want to make sure I'm not getting myself in a bad situation.
I gotcha. Yeah, and that's a good question. You're asking, is it's a merchant cash advance, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a term we use in the lending space. And merchant cash advance, or MCA, is typically money that is loaned to someone off of their credit card sale. So we're not a true merchant cash advance, but our funding is an advance. We're advancing you money on future sales. That's why we look at the past 3 months and we look at that lowest month, because our lenders are going to say, okay, here's what they've been doing. This is the lowest month. So they're assuming that that would be a lowest month for you moving forward, especially based on your industry, and you're not a seasonal type industry, right? So it is an advance on future sales, and it is going to be a short-term funding. So anywhere from 3 months to 24 months max, depending on how much you borrow. The lender is never going to put you in a position where they're asking you to pay back more than you can based on your cash flow. Another thing on that with your question is the payback terms, and I'll go ahead and cover that because that's probably one of your questions, and that is it's either going to be daily or weekly payback. Okay. And the way that works is it'll be a fixed amount, unlike a merchant cash advance where they take a percentage of your daily sales. They'll do a fixed amount. And I said either daily or weekly. Typically they start out daily. Very rare do they start out with weekly payments, but sometimes even if they want you to start with daily, they'll adjust it to weekly. And I don't know if you've ever done daily payments or not before, but I'm a business owner too, John, and I love making regular payments on my larger purchases. For example, I have a SUV that's $800 a month, and rather than me paying once a month $800, I make a weekly payment on that. I pay weekly, have it automatically drafted out of my checking account. And it's really easy to budget that $200 coming out of my checking each and every week. So I find that when business owners get accustomed to our payback process, they really love it and figure it's easier to manage cash flow than it is having to meet one large payment at the end of the month. So hopefully that answered that question and then some, right? What else do you have?
No, actually, you answered everything. I mean, I just like to know what I'm getting myself into.
Sure.
I tried to get a loan through a bank, and I wasn't approved, and I really do need the funds. So, I mean, that's fine if it's weekly or daily. I just kind of wanted to have an idea, because I was talking to my brother about it, and he's telling me to avoid this and avoid that, but he doesn't have any solutions for me. So I'm like, well, I need help now. So I appreciate it, and I've heard a lot of great things about you.
Yeah, well, good. And listen, just to put your mind at ease, every one of our lenders are willing to work with clients. So just if something ever happened down the road where you couldn't meet the payments that you are set up with initially, as long as you'll communicate with our lender, they are always willing to work with a client. In fact, we don't work with any lenders unless they're willing to work with clients, but you have to communicate, right? And I'm not assuming that you would. You're working on your credit score, and I know you're taking care of your business, but I just want to say that to put your mind at ease on who you're dealing with and the type of company we are. We've worked really hard to build our reputation with all of these lenders, and they're knocking on our door every day because they love the way that we do business and the way that we treat our clients. So you'll be in great hands. Another thing, John, once you get established with us, if you find yourself needing money down the road at another time, as long as you've paid off at least 50% of what you borrow today or tomorrow, then you're eligible for additional funds, or it may be 2 or 3 years down the road. But when you come back to us and have proven yourself as a creditworthy client with us, then you'll be able to get additional funding really quickly with us. So
Okay, will that be the case if I paid it off early as well?
yeah, if you do early payoff, there's usually a sizable discount, depending on the terms and depending on the lender, but that'll all be disclosed to you when we bring back the offers. And moving forward, is email or text message the best for me to send this link out?
I'll text. I'm gonna get it done right now. I do everything on my phone. So.
Okay, great. And for those of you listening on the training here, I have a notepad on my phone and I have everything that I need for DAC already pre-written. So I've got a little pre-written text that I just open up my app and I copy and paste it into that message so that I don't make a typo. I know my links are all 100%, and I've already gotten that instruction saying, to get started, click the apply now button in my text message, right? So, all right, go back to the call here. So John, I'm going to go ahead and send this text. The number that you called me on, is this your mobile? Is this where you want me to send the text?
Yeah, you can send it right there.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Can you check and let me know that you got it? I'm hitting, give me 1 second. I'm hitting send. Okay, did you get that?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so remember, you need 3 months bank statements on your computer or on your phone. Just have them downloaded and ready for upload. Picture of a driver's license. If you're doing it from your mobile device, you can actually snap that picture in the application process. And same thing with the voided business check. And that voided check can be one that's already been written to somebody else, or an unused one. We just need to be able to clearly see the bank account and routing number on.
I don't have checks, but I can use like a paper with the bank's.
Yeah, what we call is a bank letter. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a bank letter, if you're not sure that's what it is, it needs to show your company name and your bank account and your routing number, all that same information that a check would, and be on the letterhead from the bank. So if that's what you have, yes, send that in.
That's what I have.
Not every bank out there knows what a bank letter is, so you can call them and tell them that you need a bank letter, and they can usually email it to you or upload it into your online portal. So
yeah,
sounds like
my bank office is right on the app, so perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, so sounds like you've got everything in order. Once you get all this completed, like I said, they'll go to work real quickly for you. It's kind of early in the day. If you get this in and get it completed before noon, and they have some offers out there, it's possible, not likely, but it is possible that you could get funded today, or more likely that it might be tomorrow if you go ahead and get this in early. By the way, I didn't ask you, how soon do you need this money?
Yesterday.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean,
you're on the right path then. So I'm going to get off the phone with you so you can get started with your application. John, it was great talking to you. I wish you great success, and I hope that we can get everything together for you. One more thing before I hang up though. After you filled out that application, you won't be dealing with me. You'll be dealing with our in-house team out of Greenville, South Carolina. So when you submit that application, be on the lookout for an email back to you. It'll be from our submissions team. And then also, you're probably going to get a phone call from our submissions team, and they're going to be calling you from an 803 or a 248 area code. So be on the lookout for those 2 area codes coming in. They may have some questions about your file. They might need something that we haven't discussed, very rare, but sometimes they'll ask for something extra, and or they might have an offer for you. So just be on the lookout for those 2 area codes. Okay.
Appreciate you. I really do. You've been very nice. I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. I appreciate you too. And keep my number. If I can help you again in the future, please let me know. We have a full line of financial products for business owners. So appreciate the call, man.
I'm gonna have some referrals for you. If I get this done, I'll have some referrals for you.
That sounds great. All right. Have an awesome day.
You too.
Thank you.
Ellen, real quickly, I also want to add, first of all, that was great. I learned so much, and I appreciate you very much for that. WordBoard. Have you heard of WordBoard?
I have not.
WordBoard is an app that I use, and it's like Notepad, but better, because everything is a button. So you can save all of your messages in a folder, and it's an app. So it opens up right on your phone when you open to your text. And let's say you have first question, you can just send that automatically, boom, click a button. You download it on, if you have an iPhone, it's WordBoard. If you or Boards is another one. It's just a quicker way because I used to use Notepad too.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes, you add more notes to your stuff. You got to find the notes. But with WordBoard, it's literally right there. Just a little FYI to make it even more.
Oh, that's
seamless.
great. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely. Word board. One word or 2 words? 2 words, I guess.
Let me check. Hold on. I'm gonna show you.
Word board. That's a great tip.
Yeah, one should be 1 word. I'm gonna show you guys on my phone here. Yeah, it saves me. I have so many scripts on there and responses, especially if you do something that's consistent. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. You probably can't, but
Okay, big W on top of the
yep,
keyboard.
WordBoard. Yep.
All right. Excellent. I'll find that and download it for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it very
you.
much, Rebecca. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Harlequin, do you have anything from the chat that has popped up, or anybody got questions? You can use the virtual hand raise button and get your questions addressed. Anything you want to add there, Harlequin?
I don't see any questions in the chat. Rashida Edmond, thank you for posting that link for the Time to Thrive, and I'm going to repost it now that we're getting.
Yeah, can
down
you state it too, outside of doing just the chat? Tell us again what that is, since you had a chance to look it up.
Yeah,
Harlequin.
it's timetothrivechallenge.com/join. So
Time to Thrive
challenge.com/join.
Excellent. Okay.
And
Any questions? I have JC with a hand raise.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Kind of foggy, but I'm good.
Okay.
Oh gosh, see, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I'm going to touch on the bank letter. I noticed our Relevate bank does not have bank letters because I needed one last week.
Okay.
Yeah, they had me download something. It only has your name and your bank account and routing number on it. My question is, do you have any update when businesses can now turn over their name or add their business name and EIN to Relevate?
Yeah, that's already live. I have that business account set up for myself. So now when you go in and apply, it gives you the option to do under your personal name with Social Security or under business name with an EIN number. Now I remember, JC, seems like you applied for both, right? Or were trying to do both when you first signed up, as did I.
Well, yeah, out of habit, when I'm doing business stuff, I use my EIN number. And it created such a problem. I'm just now getting my commission from 2 weeks ago because they had to straighten all that stuff out.
Right.
So
yeah, I went
now,
through that too, because I jumped the gun and I signed up under my personal name, and they didn't understand what I was trying to explain to them, but they got it straightened out.
Exactly. So we can use our business names now?
Yes. Now, let me clarify this. If you are signed up as a DAC agent under your personal name, your Relevate account needs to be under your personal account.
No, I'm under my business name.
Okay, so if you're in a business name, then your Relevate account needs to be in a business name. They have to match up. And David also announced on the call the other day that if you go in and update your email address, then your email address at Relevate needs to be updated as well. They have to be in sync, because when he sends the commission pay over to Relevate, they match it up with the email address on file. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because they have to be the same. So if you make a change to one, you need to have the same at DAC and at Relevate.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Well,
thanks.
thank you for your comments and questions.
You're welcome.
You bet. Good to hear from you. Thanks.
Ellen,
Yes.
Ellen,
Yes, Brad.
the money that they borrow is, it's not paid back in an interest rate, it's the cost of money, am I correct?
It's paid back in a factor rate. Okay.
Factor rate?
Yeah, we do factor
Okay.
factor rate. It's not considered factoring, but it is a factor rate. So it's a multiplier, anywhere from 1.19 up to 1.69 times the amount they borrow.
I got you.
That's what they pay back. Mhm.
Thanks.
You got it. Okay, well, if we don't have any questions or comments, then we will make it a wrap here. Harlequin, any last thing before we wrap up?
I think that was
I
everything.
have one question.
Okay, Yvonne, go ahead.
Do we also do funding for international businesses, or is just nationwide right here in the United States?
The 50 US states.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Yeah, the business needs to reside in the 50 US states.
Yeah,
Good
and
question.
actually, I'm gonna add to that because somebody posted this question in the Facebook group this weekend. The owner has to either be a US citizen. Sometimes they will accept a US resident, but it's gonna depend a little bit about how long they've been a resident, because they want to make sure that the person's not going to get a funding and go back to their home country and not pay it back, because they have no recourse to get the money back from them if they've left the country.
Right.
So that's part of the reasoning behind that. So, yeah.
Good point. Good comment. I have Alexandria with your hand up. I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Sorry about that. Yes, ma'am. I had a question. It just came to me. I'm so sorry. But in the event that I cannot speak to the owner of the business, what is the chain of command? Like, who should I try to speak to next? Because I'm having a little bit of an issue when I'm coming in to speak to the owner in person.
Mhm.
And it'll be like the manager or the assistant manager there. And I kind of want to know who to, I mean, I leave my information, but I want to know, like, when I walk in, who can I ask to speak to if the owner is not available?
Yeah, if the owner's not there, sometimes they may have an office manager, depending on the size of the business, right? But
Okay.
you can leave your information if you don't have drop cards yet and you just have some information. What I would say is, hey, I just was dropping in to introduce myself. I have some money for your business owner today. Can you get
Right,
my
right.
information?
Okay, absolutely.
You have
And
some money for
as
them
far
if
as
they need it, right? But you have some money
they'll
for them.
reach out,
They'll make sure they
absolutely.
get that note to the business owner if you tell them that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the business owner is the only decision maker in the process, has to be the owner of the business.
Right. The business owner has to be the one that fills out the application and is the one that's signing off on all the documents. So yeah, it's got to be the business owner. And that goes to,
Okay.
that's a great question. Makes me think of something that came up the other day on a call with an agent. And that was, somebody was asking me about franchises. What franchises should I go after? And franchises have come up a good bit lately. Well, if you're dealing with franchises, sometimes, depending on the franchise organization, sometimes they're going to have restrictions that aren't going to allow them to borrow money through a David Allen Capital. They may have their own
Right.
lender in place.
Right.
But you want to deal with small businesses where the decision maker, that business owner, is readily available, because they're the
Right.
ones that have to go through the process. If you're going through bigger organizations where the owner is not in, or they may even have a board of directors, those are going to
Right.
be really hard to get funded because you don't have that one go-to person in there. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You bet. Good
what
question.
I
Glad that
needed.
you're getting
Yeah.
out talking to business owners. Good
Yes,
job on that.
ma'am.
And
Working on it.
All right, awesome. All right, I have Norma Susanna. I'm gonna
actually,
ask you to
Ellen,
unmute.
real
Uh-huh.
quick, if I can just make a comment, mostly because, she's talking about, the business owner has to fill out the application. I just want to reiterate, under no circumstances whatsoever, ever, can you fill out an application for your client. It is grounds for immediate termination.
Yep.
The owner has to fill it out.
Thank you for clarifying that and pointing that out, because that is definitely a big no-no for sure. Even if the business owner tells you it's okay and they give you permission, don't do it. It'll come back to bite you. All right, I'm going to ask Norma Susanna to unmute. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, good evening. Thank you.
Oh,
I have a new question now concerning the most recent comment, and then a couple of other questions. First of all, thank you. It's my first time joining you on a Monday.
awesome.
I just signed up over the weekend, on Saturday, as a matter of fact. And so I'm very excited to be here with you all. So my first question is, this may have been sent to me already, but I wanted to know about getting access to material to approach business owners. So question about doing self-generated leads, and second question about getting leads, right? So that's the first question. And then I do have another one after that.
Okay, so you're looking for material to market with? Is that what I'm understanding?
That would be one of the questions. And then the other one, I guess, would be, do we get leads from you guys or no?
No, we generate our own leads. So
Okay.
yeah, we do our own leads. Our model really has us positioned to be the go-to person for funding in a local business community, right? So we want you to meet, greet, and inform business owners around you, people that are, they don't have to be in your community. I shouldn't say that, but those are the best ones to target your local community. But you may have reach across the whole country through your relationships and through the network of people that you know. You just want to let everybody know that you're now in the funding space. And if they know of any business owners looking for working capital and they can't get approved at their bank, we can probably help them. And all that's going to be covered in detail in video 2 at the top of the Agent Resource Center, your required video 1, 2, 3, those big green numbers. And then tomorrow night, also, when David does the training, the funding training at 9 p.m., funding / other services, that some of that may very well be covered then. Well, we always have different training on those Tuesday night training. So that'll be there for sure. As far as resources go for materials, if you go to the Agent Resource Center, there is a marketing materials section there. You can order drop cards, which are brand new. Those are available now. They have QR codes where somebody can actually just shoot the QR code with their phone and it'll take them directly over to your website. Those are ready to order. And you can also get business cards. I like the drop cards. They're the best marketing tool that we have. But sometimes a regular size business card is effective. And especially if you're doing a lot of face-to-face networking where you're meeting people and they're asking for a business card to stick in their file or whatever. Sometimes that card is handy, but the drop cards are the preferred marketing tool. And those are about $110 for 1,000 of them shipped.
Okay, perfect. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. And if I may, I'm just going to plug in a little suggestion here for anybody who maybe doesn't have the means for that. We can Google how to create a free QR generator that we can use in the interim, and plug in the details that we need to plug in. Obviously, you know, we'll have to refer to our team lead and whatever information is on your website, but that could be used in the interim. So that's a great tool for us. Thank you so much. And then the second question is, I did start a lead sheet over the weekend on business owners that I know. So I'm going to be reaching out to some of these business owners in like direct messages via Instagram and also via Facebook. And so I wanted to see if you or anybody has some input on how we can initiate that without coming across as like, I'm here to sell you something.
Absolutely. I've got the perfect answer for you, and I'm going to point you to it right now. Let me go back in here to screen share.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm on the Agent Resource Center, which again, if you're new, not just you, but if you're new and you don't know where the Agent Resource Center is, you want to go to davidallencapital.com, which this is the main homepage here. Go to davidallencapital.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and you'll see the link to the Agent Resource Center there. Once you're on the Agent Resource Center, specifically for your question about how to introduce yourself, if you'll click on this workbook link and go, I think it starts around page 49, you're going to find an abundance of scripts for sending out those text messages, letting people know that you're in the funding space, scripts for emails, etc. So you're going to find an abundance of that information in this workbook. I also encourage you to go through the video that goes along with the workbook, but just to get you started, because it sounds like you already got a list made, you're ready to start sending some text messages. You can find those there. But before you get too deep in that, and before you're really sharing your links, you want to make sure you go through videos 1 and 2, so that you have a clear understanding of our funding, the process, the need for it, our pricing, and what to say to people if you're talking to the actual business owner. So if somebody responds to your text messages that you're sending out, you know how that conversation should go and know what links to send them. Also, if you've not seen my DAC website training video that I include in my welcome email, that welcome to our DAC family, I encourage you to go watch that, because I take you through really the intricate details of the website that you need to know if you want to make the most money here. Okay.
Excellent. Yep.
All right.
Thank you so much. And I'll compile a list of questions for after. Thank you.
You bet. Yeah. And most of the time I find that once you go through all those basic training videos, most of your questions are answered there, but there will certainly be things that come up. As you said, you know, some of the statements tonight have posed other questions. So good job. Appreciate you asking the questions, and welcome to DAC. We're glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Anything else there, Harlequin? Nada?
Not that I'm seeing, no.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday to be here. If you're here live, if you're watching the replay, pat yourself on the back for being a good business owner and doing the work that you need to do, putting in the work and the time and staying up to speed and learning to be a better DAC agent. All right. Thank you all. Have a blessed evening, and we will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m., starting with a business opportunity, and 9 p.m. with training. If you don't know, that business opportunity is your opportunity to invite guests to come firsthand, hear it firsthand from the business owner. If he has time at the end of the presentation, he'll open up for questions. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, but it's always a great, great presentation. So invite some guests. Don't come alone. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great night, everyone.